Hello students, I again welcome you for this lecture on Greek tragedy. In this short lecture, we'll talk about the background of Greek tragedy, the origin of Greek tragedy, various plots, and the stage properties used in the Greek tragedies. This lecture is important because in our syllabus, we have Sophocles' Oedipus Rex, and the enough background knowledge about Greek tragedy will help you to understand the play better. And I am also sure that you will love and enjoy learning. Before we begin our discussion on the characteristics of Greek tragedies, it is important to know the background of Greek drama. You know that these tragedies were performed as a part of annual festivals of Dionysus, and these festivals were arranged particularly in the month of March in Athens. During these festivals, various contests were arranged, religious processions and rituals were also arranged, and in those competitions, the team of three poets, the team of three writers was selected, and they had to present their four plays as a part of this competition. And these plays were performed successively. Three tragic poets who had been selected earlier, they had to present three tragedies and one satyr play. And it was the team of 10 judges which was appointed earlier used to decide the winners, and then on the basis of the responses of the judges, on the basis of the observations of the judges, and also very interestingly on the basis of the responses from the audiences, prizes were declared and awarded to the winners. So the role of judges was also important. Simultaneously, the responses of the audience were also counted. Therefore, the stories were mostly taken from the popular myths which were known to people, but the treatment was very innovative, treatment was different, and therefore it used to hold the attention of the audience. The poets or the playwrights, they had to perform different roles. Beside writing the plays and composing the music, they were responsible for directing the production and supervising the rehearsal of these plays. Often, the roles of the protagonist or the central character was acted by the poet, but later this tradition was broken in the time of Sophocles. Those poets who were chosen to compete at the festivals, they were provided different kinds of assistance. They were assigned actors, they were provided chorus, and also musicians by the state powers. Even the cost of the production was paid by the choregus. The wealthy citizen appointed by the government to do this as a liturgy. or public service, and therefore it was easier for them to arrange the performances of these plays for the common masses. And mostly these plays were based on the popular mythological stories or popular themes. But the treatment was innovative, the way they were narrated, the way they were presented, it was different, and therefore it was interesting to watch. But overall, they had one common purpose, and that was teaching moral values to the society or teaching moral principles to people. So it was a kind of a teaching to people and make them good and responsible citizen of the state. The origin of the tragedies can be traced in the ancient dithyram or choral. Dithyram was a choral hymn sung in ancient Athens in honor of the god Dionysus. And that choral lyric was sung by the male actor in honor of the god Dionysus during the festival. The god Dionysus had significant role in the life of people. Dionysus was the Greek god of wine, ivy, and grapes, specifically its intoxication and social influence. But also, it was the patron of agriculture and the theatre. Dionysus was related to the mystery of religion as in spiritual intoxication. So plays had more formal artistic structure and content was derived from the legendary traditions. Stories were used in tragedy were taken almost exclusively from the great cycles of mythology or which were popular to then society. The stories of the plays were based on the great cycles of mythology, and these ancient myths and heroic legends were like a Bible to the Greeks, for they recorded what was thought to be the collective social, political, and religious history of the people. It included profound and searching tales about the problems of human life and the nature of the god. Thespis was said by the Greek to have been the father of drama. Thespis used actors in his production and brought several innovations in the plays. He presented first tragedy as a part of Dionysus festival in Athens in 534 BC, and it is believed that it was Aeschylus who wrote the first tragedy in the sense that we find today, which emphasizes more on the content than the stylistic matter. For the Greek plays, stories were chosen from mythology, and therefore drama was a part of religious function. It deals with subject of great moral dignity and emotional significance. The characters, they were often engaged in the purposeful examination of the meaning of life. If you see the theater, Greek theater, it was built in the open air on a large surface, usually in a hollowed out hillsides. It was shaped like a horseshoe, which had rows of stone seats rising upward and backward in tiers. In the front row, the principal citizens and the priest of Dionysus used to sit. The theatre of Dionysus at Athens, for example, had the arrangement of more than 17,000 seats. For the performances of the drama, various stage properties were used. A few items of technical equipments were available for special effects. The actor performed in elaborate formal costumes, and also they used to wear masks that emphasized the important traits of the characters. Mostly these characters were male who performed more in a conventional and stylized manner rather than naturalistic. Another important feature of Greek drama was the use of chorus. Chorus had a significant role and also had various purposes. About its role and purpose, we'll talk in the next lecture. But chorus was an inseparable and important part of Greek drama. For preparation of this lecture, I have used these two references. Most of my ideas are derived from these two books. One is The Theban Plays, translated by E.F. Watling, and another is Cole's Notes, Sophocles' King Oedipus, Oedipus at Colonus, Antigone, published by Nirman Press, New Delhi in 1994. These books are good help, and I request students to read them thoroughly. I hope you will enjoy watching this video. Thank you.